You know, for thousands of years, there's been this mysterious black resin that literally seeps from the highest mountain ranges on Earth. Ancient traditions, they called it a rejuvenator, a restorer of strength. And today, modern science is just starting to figure out why. So let's get into the story of Shilajit.
There's this great line that really, I think, gets to the heart of it. Shilajit is what happens when nature finishes its work slowly. And that's so true. This isn't some compound cooked up in a lab, and it's definitely not a quick-fix herb. It's the end result of immense time and pressure, a substance that's been matured by the Earth itself over millennia.
So this brings up the big question we're going to tackle here. We know it's been seen for ages, just oozing out of the Himalayas and other ancient mountain ranges, but what in the world is this stuff, really?
To really get a handle on Shilajit, we have to start by looking back, and I mean way, way back. Its place in history is actually the first big clue as to what makes it so unique.
Look, using Shilajit is not a new trend. It's been documented in Ayurvedic traditions for over 3,000 years. And what's so fascinating is the difference between then and now. The ancients, they didn't know about things like fulvic acid or mitochondria, right? But they described its effects with incredible accuracy. The science is really just now catching up to what they observed.
And this is the critical part. Their knowledge wasn't based on chemistry, it was based on results. They saw that when people took this stuff, their energy came back, their ability to handle stress got better, their overall vitality just went up. And these are the observations, the clues, that led modern science to finally ask, why?
So all those ancient observations led modern scientists to ask, okay, what is actually in this stuff? So let's shift gears from just observation to actual analysis and break down what Shilajit is on a molecular level. Okay, so it's not one single thing. You got to think of it more like a complex, natural cocktail. It's this mineral resin that's formed from ancient compressed plants, and it's just packed with fulvic acid, dozens of trace minerals, electrolytes, and other organic compounds called humic substances. It's basically the byproduct of a very, very long decomposition process. It's a symphony of substances, not just a solo instrument.
Now, if there's one component you really need to wrap your head around, it's fulvic acid. This stuff is the star of the show. Think of it like a microscopic delivery truck. It literally latches onto nutrients and minerals and then physically carries them to your cells, helping them get inside where they're actually needed. This is an absolute game changer when it comes to absorption.
And there's another key piece to the puzzle here. The minerals in Shilajit are what's called ionic. Now, that's just a fancy way of saying they're in a form that your body's cells already understand. There's no conversion process needed. The body doesn't have to fight to use them, it just recognizes them and puts them to work. Okay, so now we know what it is, but now for the fun part. Let's dig into what it does. How does this ancient resin actually create the effects that the ancients were talking about all those years ago?
So here's that delivery system we were talking about in action. Step 1, the fulvic acid grabs onto all the good stuff, the minerals, the nutrients. Step 2, it travels through your body and brings those nutrients right up to the doorstep of your cells. And then, step 3, it helps unlock the door, making it easier for them to get inside. You see, you can take all the minerals in the world, but if they can't get into your cells, they're basically useless. Shilajit helps solve that exact problem.
This brings us to a really important idea, adaptogens. See, unlike a stimulant like caffeine that forces you up, or a sedative that forces you down, an adaptogen helps your body find its own equilibrium. It supports your body's natural ability to regulate itself and handle stress. It's all about building resilience, not giving you an artificial push in one direction.
So where does all that energy come from? Well, it's not stimulation, it's efficiency. Shilajit works deep down at the level of your mitochondria. Those are the tiny power plants inside every one of your cells. By giving them the right minerals and cutting down on stress, it helps these little power plants just run more smoothly. You're not borrowing energy from tomorrow, you're just making better, more efficient energy today. Okay, so all of this leads to a pretty obvious question, right? If this stuff is so effective and people have been using it for so long, why isn't it in every pharmacy? Why hasn't your doctor told you about it? Well, the simple answer is that it just doesn't fit the modern pharmaceutical model. That whole model is built on finding one single isolated molecule that you can patent to treat one single problem. Shilajit is the complete opposite of that. It's a complex, natural substance that you can't patent, and it works systemically, meaning it supports the whole body instead of just targeting one specific pathway. To put it another way, and using the example of cancer from the source material, Shilajit is not a direct treatment. Its value is in helping to restore the body's internal environment, what some people call the terrain. It helps address things like mineral imbalances and mitochondrial problems, the kinds of things that create an unhealthy environment in the first place. It's all about strengthening the foundation.
Now, this is a really critical warning. Because this stuff is a natural substance that's literally scraped from mountains, the quality can be all over the place. Low-quality, unpurified Shilajit can be full of contaminants like heavy metals and other impurities. So the most crucial point here is this: purity and sourcing are everything. Not all Shilajit is created equal, not by a long shot.
Okay, so let's bring all this together. What's the ultimate takeaway from this ancient mountain resin? What is its real role here? Let's be absolutely crystal clear about what Shilajit is and what it's not. It is a restorative substance. It is a foundation supporter, and it is a systemic balancer. It is not a stimulant, it's not a hormone, and it is definitely not an instant magic cure for anything. Managing your expectations is key here. This is all about long-term foundational support.
So what are these foundations it helps restore? Well, it's about bringing back essential minerals your body is missing. It's about helping your body adapt to stress better. It's about making your cellular energy production way more efficient. And it all adds up to building genuine, long-term resilience. You could almost say it helps the body remember how to function properly when it's under pressure.
And we'll just end on this final thought. In a world that's obsessed with the next big invention, the newest molecule, maybe the real answer for our depleted, stressed-out bodies isn't something new at all. Maybe it's an ancient reminder, just seeping from the mountains, waiting for us to listen.